If you're hitting the gym consistently, eating relatively healthy and doing your cardio, but you still look skinny fat, this video is going to completely change the way you approach fitness. Because the truth is, most skinny fat guys are not lazy. They're actually trying way too hard and being way too disciplined in the wrong direction. And once I figured this out, I was able to go from skinny fat to lean and confident without doing tons of cardio, without spending hours at the gym every single week, and while still actually enjoying my life. And this is part one of a 3-part mini-series where I break down exactly how to completely rebuild your body as a skinny fat man. You see, when you're skinny fat, you don't just have a fat problem, you have a muscle problem as well, and most fitness advice completely ignores that. And you do listen to that advice and kind of obsess over fat loss, but what happens is that you spend months or even years trying to lose the belly, but because you don't have enough muscle underneath that belly and underneath that fat overall, you just end up looking like a smaller, more deflated version of the same problem. And that's exactly what happened to me a couple of years back when I did 75 hard. I ran in the morning, lifted in the afternoon, had no cheat meals, been super disciplined, but what actually happened is that I looked worse at the end of the challenge than I did back when I started. And this honestly completely blew my mind, and not in a good way, because I was supposed to look better with all the discipline, right? You see, what I essentially realized and what actually then allowed me to build the physique that I always wanted and fix the skinny fat look and overall, like get lean and build that kind of physique where you can take your shirt off and just feel good anywhere, is that doing more of the wrong shit is still the wrong shit. And doing more of the wrong shit will not necessarily help you get better results, but honestly what it will do is just make you look worse and do it faster, and that's it. So what you need to realize is that since you have a fat problem and a muscle problem as well, your goal is not fat loss, it's rebuilding your body. You need to lose fat and build muscle to create some kind of shape underneath that fat. That's how you escape skinny fat. And the second I started training with that goal in mind, honestly, everything changed. I started looking leaner, more defined, more muscular, and life started getting better. And that's exactly what I want for you as well. Now, before I get into the training method, I need to make something super clear. There's a difference between hitting the gym and training. A huge difference. Hitting the gym is just showing up. You know, you come into the gym, you lift some weights, you don't really have a plan. You maybe do some cardio, maybe some machines, maybe some barbells, dumbbells, whatever. You don't really have a clear plan, so you do your stuff and then go home. That's what hitting the gym means. But training, on the other hand, means that you're actually knowing your numbers, you're progressing every single week, and you're getting stronger, calculating your numbers, having a clear vision of what to do when you walk into a gym, and that's how you escape skinny fat. Hitting the gym keeps you stuck because essentially it's just expensive cardio. To be fair, you're essentially paying for a membership for a cardio because like that's all you do. You burn some calories, you don't really build muscle. And training, on the other hand, that is what helps you fix the skinny fat look, get lean, more muscular, and more defined overall. And the reason for this is that when you train, you're actually giving your body a reason to adapt. You're pushing it every single week or at least every other week and getting stronger. And that is the stimulus that your body, or more in particular, your muscle, needs to grow. So what you need to realize is that if you're just hitting the gym and just showing up and you're not really improving your weight or reps or anything, you have no reason to change, my guy. And this is honestly something that kept me stuck for a long time. And I mean a long time, I mean 3 years. Because I thought that willpower and discipline and just showing up and, you know, just showing up for yourself and in the gym was enough, but it wasn't. And I know this probably sounds harsh, but look, you need to hear this truth if you actually want to change. All right, so now that you understand the difference between just showing up and training, and now that you hopefully know that you need to train, not just show up to actually change your physique, let's get into the juicy part. I call this training method the micro progression protocol, and the way this works is honestly stupidly simple. And we can sum this up into 3 really simple steps, but before I get into the steps and into the actionable stuff, let's just make something clear. We will be doing 3 sets and working in a 4 to 6 rep range. So now that we got this out of the way and you know that we will only be doing 4 to 6 reps and 3 sets, let's get into the steps. All right, so step number 1 is that since we are working in a 4 to 6 rep range, you want to find a weight that you can lift for at least 4 reps and 3 sets. That's your first step. And this should be a weight that is not too heavy or not too light either, just something in the middle. As I said, something you can lift for 4 reps and 3 sets. Now that you have found the weight, let's just move into step number 2, and that is to work with that exact weight. Don't go down at all, don't change up anything, literally just stick to that weight until you can max out the rep range and hit 6 reps on all 3 sets. So on week 1, for example, you found out that you can lift 100 pounds on a bench press for 4 reps and 3 sets. On week 2, you can maybe hit, I don't know, 5, 4, and 4. Week 3, 5, 5, and 4, and then kind of like eventually build it up until you can hit 6 reps, 6 reps, and 6 reps. And that's pretty much it. And once you have maxed out the rep range, you can simply move on to step number 3, and that is to add 5 pounds to the lift. And this is a really important part. Never ever go back to the 100 pounds. You have graduated kind of like from that weight. So now you literally just want to move up to those 105 pounds and never go down, my guy. Never ever. And then you literally just repeat the process all over again and again and again for the entirety of your life. Like, this is the simplest and easiest and the only system that you need, honestly, to get stronger and bigger at the gym. And this is honestly the full system. So just to kind of give you a quick recap, step number 1, you want to find a weight that you can lift for at least 4 reps and 3 sets. Step number 2, you want to work with that weight and never ever go down. Never, ever. So literally just work with that weight until you can max out the rep range and hit 6 reps, 6 reps, and 6 reps on all 3 sets. And step number 3, you literally just want to move up 5 pounds, for example, from 100 pounds to 105 pounds, and repeat the whole process over again and again. So think about this as this kind of cycle. And this is literally where skinny fat guys finally start seeing changes on their physique, because now they're finally giving their bodies reason to change. You're recovering properly, you're building strength, you're building muscle, and when it comes to the quantity of the training, you literally don't need to train 6 or 7 days, not even 5 days, not even 4 days. Like 4 days would be cool, but essentially the golden spot is 2 to 4 sessions, ideally 3 to 4 sessions per week using this kind of protocol. And literally, you don't need to live in the gym. Using this protocol, it will allow you basically to get in and out of the gym in, for example, an hour, maybe maximum. And when you combine this training method with the nutrition approach that I will break down in part 2 of this mini series, my guy, you will start seeing some killer results. And that is when your body starts getting leaner, more athletic, more confident, flatter belly, more muscle, all of the good stuff without actually your whole life revolving around fitness. So if you have been stuck skinny fat for a while, click here for part 2 of the mini series where I break down the nutrition side of this. Because most skinny fat guys eat in a way that is keeping them stuck forever, even if they think they're eating super healthy. And I'll show you the exact step-by-step nutrition approach that allowed me to go from this to this without making fitness my entire lifestyle while still going out for dinners, eating junk food, and overall enjoying the foods I love. So if you want that kind of physique where you're lean, confident, athletic, but still sustainable and still enjoying your life, make sure to watch part 2. And if this video helped and you're new to this channel, make sure to click the nice, red, juicy subscribe button, because I post weekly content just like this. So that's it. Thanks for watching and peace out.